We welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season Number 3 Playoff Race in Chicagoland. Welcome live to Chicagoland Speedway, Joliet, Illinois. For tonight, it is the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Round of 8 opener for Season Number 3. And cars are on the racetrack here at this 1.5 miles as we welcome you into the broadcast booth. All right, so here is White down in the 1 and 2, the car on the racetrack. He won at the Charlotte Roval a week ago, of course. So let's take a look at your playoff standings entering the first race of the round of 8. So, of course, Aiden Donahue, Matthew White both sitting pretty good above the cut line. Then you got a Dylan Banks only +8, Braden Hunsicker +5 for the 4 drivers currently inside of the championship 4. Then you got Payson Lindsay, Carlos Ortiz, Matt Grab, Ashton Miller all below the cut line currently. But if anyone wins tonight, or the next 2 races, Talladega and Bristol, they will be locked into the championship 4 at Kansas if you're in the playoffs. So there's Donahue and White, 2 playoff drivers. Here's Cole Clausen, your defending series champion, will not get to defend his title anymore. He was eliminated from the playoffs last week at the Charlotte Roval. Just looking to finish out the season strong, looking for a victory. Donahue to the outside of White as they head side by side down the front straightaway. Clausen top of the board now. Good early lap for him. Here comes the 11, Wilkin. Down the back straightaway, you got Ashton Miller. Made it to the round of 8 for the first time in his career after getting eliminated in the round of 12 a season ago. And he'll be looking for good momentum here tonight to try to gain points and possibly advance to the championship 4. Miller top of the board. Good lap for him. There's Andrew Stacy. Not in the playoffs. Currently 6th on the board. Here is Payson Lindsay in the round of 8. Winner at Daytona this season in the regular season finale. And he's got 1 win on the year. Looking for that second win. And if he gets that second win, he would be locked into the championship 4.
Gus, who has flipped already.
Oh, shocking. Absolute shove. There it is. There's Cole Clausen on his lid already. As you see Matt Grab heading through 3 and 4 in the playoffs. Now in the round of 8. First time in his career. Matt Grab currently P11. Here is Braden Hunsicker down the back straightaway. Lindsay now goes to the top of the board. And it's so top 3 so far. Lindsay, Miller, and Clausen. Braden Hunsicker moves up to P6. Car on the apron here. That is Logan Giesbrett, sporting a similar to pace scheme to what we usually see Pace and Lindsay run. Freeway Insurance is now Hunsicker's going to go around here on the back straightaway, and he will hit the wall. Oh, and Cole Clausen's still on his lid. Here comes Dylan Banks down the front stretch in his number 88 machine. Donahue goes to second, so Dylan Banks, 2 wins on the season, happened earlier in the year at Texas and Martinsville. Oh, and slams into Donahue. Here is Landon Johnson in the 60. Just getting some Cup experience for next season where he will be full-time. And, of course, full-time in Xfinity this year. Here's Matthew White in the 12. Down the back straightaway goes C.J. Erdman. He's getting up to speed. Giesbrett here on the front straightaway. Goes 13th. Got Eli Tomlin down here on pit road as well in the 90 machine. So, of course, as always, now in the round of 8, we got crashing here on pit road. Playoff drivers will be represented by their playoff banners and then the P next to their names on the ticker. So, top 3 all playoff drivers so far on the board. Let's crash down in here. So, Lindsay, Donahue, and Miller, top 3 so far. And all playoff drivers have been over the board for a lap time. So eliminated from the playoffs last week were Brad Havrilla, Lucas Lewis, as we got a Matt Grab going around, Cole Clausen, and John Butler. So they will all not be able to race for a championship no longer. Good seasons by them to make the playoffs, but they are now officially eliminated. Oh, Aiden Donahue's on his roof, and Cameron Chandler is going to slam into the wall. Winner of the Xfinity race last night, and he's flipping here in the back straightaway. Here is Carlos Ortiz down the front stretch now. We were actually waiting on Ortiz, so now officially all playoff drivers have been over the board. So Carlos Ortiz, just like last season, makes it to the round of 8 in a very impressive performance in the round of 12. And, of course, that Daytona regular season finale to get himself into the playoffs. Ahead of him is the 25 of Bryce Benson. Of course, Benson not in the playoffs currently. Ortiz is up to P13. Matt Grab's still sitting P16. Definitely looking for a bit more pace. But yeah, it is Chicagoland here tonight. Oh, and big wreck here. Upside down is the 11. I believe Hunsicker was just in the middle of the track. Brayton Hunsicker raced in the Xfinity Series last night. He took a very, very hard hit when he got turned around, and then got absolutely slammed by the 72 of Connor Asbell. And Benson, currently P12. And the 25, he moves up to P9. Wilkin here on the apron. Ashton Miller heading down the back straightaway. There's Eli Tomlin in the 90. You got a bit of a mess here on the front stretch. 24 Donahue side drafting the 94 of Erdman. Down into 1 and 2 they both go. Or all 3 of them go now with Lindsay on the outside. Ace and Lindsay still so far top of the board here in Chicagoland. Starting off solid. Looking for his second win of the year as they make contact. This is kind of what you're going to be seeing tonight as Lindsay goes in the wall. And we got a car. Oh, Stacy just got slammed there. Oh my God. Chandler's on the lid again here in practice. Johnson on the backstretch. You got a spinner. 71 of Clausen goes for a spin. Oh, we got a big wreck down in 3 and 4. Here's Ortiz. In his number 21 Chevrolet, currently P11. All right. Oh. So, nearly halfway through practice here in Chicagoland. This mile-and-a-half oval. There's the 11 of Wilkin up to the wall. Here's Johnson heading down the front straightaway. Oh! Lindsay will tack the wall here. Here is White going off track and hard on the wall. Big hit there for 12. Oh! Oh, Benson back up into traffic. Oh, this is bad. All right, so just about halfway through practice here in Chicagoland. Here comes Matt Grab on the back straightaway. He's currently P7. I think Matt Grab could have a very good shot to advance if he gets a win in one of these 3 races. Of course, very unpredictable. Yeah. God, I can't talk. Very unpredictable rounds. With, of course, Chicagoland, probably the most normal race of the round here tonight. Next week at Talladega, one of the most unpredictable. Oh my God, I don't know why I can't talk. One of the most unpredictable races of the season, and then at Bristol for the championship cutoff in that short track. Last great Coliseum. So everyone going to be wanting to lock themselves in tonight to not have to worry about those races coming up. Comes Johnson down the front stretch. Payson Lindsay in the 99 machine. You got 88, Dylan Banks. There is 71 of Cole Clausen. Oh, it's 80. Giesbrecht is going to spin here on the front straightaway. Okay, Grab here. Some others down the front stretch. You got a crash. Oh. All right, so practice still underway here in Chicago. Banks now to second. All right. So you got Giesbrecht pulling off back there. A bit of a 4-car pack. Thanks to the top. Eleven minutes to go. All right, here comes Chandler in the 8. Of course, 134 laps on the table here tonight in Chicagoland. this track used to host the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Championship race all the way back in season number 1. For season 2, it was moved into the mid-regular season. Now it's back in the playoffs in the round of 8. Watch Chandler here make laps. With about 10 minutes remaining in practice. Of course, high-speed, mile-and-a-half racing here tonight. See the 12 of white currently in P4. Wilkin currently in 12th. Hunsicker goes up to 8th. Wilkin still looking for more pace here. Currently 13th. All right, so qualifying coming up next. It's, as always, for ovals. 2 laps. And you have 1 round for the pole. All right. Bit of a crash down there. So here's Crane in the 9 on the track now. Sporting a new Prime Video paint scheme. Benton now rolling up pit road in his Carvana 25. And here's Tomlin. About 7 minutes to go here in practice. Playoff drivers include all of the top 5 currently. Banks, Donahue, Lindsay, White, Miller. Next playoff driver on down is Hunsicker. Then you got Grab, Ortiz all lined up. That's all your playoff drivers. All 8 of them inside the top 10. So looking for a good showing by all these playoff drivers here tonight. Carlos Ortiz, currently the lowest playoff driver in P10. He's been decent at these mile-and-a-halfs in the past. We'll see what he can bring here tonight. Crane a good lap up to 8th. Breaks up all the playoff drivers, and he's now pushes Ortiz down to P11 for your final playoff driver. And Ortiz will back it down. Oh, on the side is Braden Hunsicker. Clausen spins. And you got more still here on pit road. We got a bit of a pit party starting, obviously.
Oh my God.
All right. About 5 minutes before qualifying gets underway here tonight in Chicagoland. 4 wide on the back straightaway for a second, almost 5 wide. Everyone's squeezing each other. We saw 4 wide on the back straightaway in the actual race last season, one of the most iconic pictures in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League. Now we're still 4 wide, and they're going to wreck. Oh. Yeah, one of the more iconic pictures in the league. That 4 wide down the back straightaway at Chicagoland.
Oh my, who is LePage in the field?
Eli Tomlin. Oh, and spinning in the wall is Miller. All right, so just under 5 minutes to go here. Aiden Donahue, unfortunately for him, after leading, or I should say winning the stage in Charlotte last week at the Roval, he ended up taking an absolute massive hit here. But Aiden Donahue ended up with a bent toe link and a DNF in the Charlotte Roval. He will still advance, though, of course. Got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left here at Chicago.
What the hell?
All right. So 3 minutes left here. Bit of packed racing down in the 1 and 2. Oh, that's not very clean down the back straightaways. Chandler's just gonna cut across number the 24. Oh, and there they go. Of Donahue sliding up the racetrack. Oh, he gets loose. He's got 2 cars banging doors, Matthew White and Cameron Chandler behind him. And Chandler to the inside of the 24. Door slams him.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, it's still not over. All right, caution out, I think, at this point. Caution might have to come out for that one. Even though we don't ever have cautions here in practice, because we don't need them. We don't feel like sending the pace car out, or safety crew out, I should say.
I got Newman 3 times in 1 crash.
So last little pit party here before the race gets underway, and then qualifying, of course, before that. Oh, as Payson Lindsay just drives through everybody. Payson's just on the gas and heading up onto the racetrack. So NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies Week 28 was going to happen tomorrow night, I should say, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but it has been moved to next Friday, so that's just an update for tomorrow. There won't be any events going on the channel, or for the league, I should say, besides iCar, which There's an affiliate of FedEx is going to crash down here. iCar at Richmond tomorrow night. But no lobbies this week. It'll be rescheduled for next Friday. 3 wide down the back straightaway, then 3 and 4. Still 3 wide, and that will do it here in practice. Dylan Banks will lead it. Top 5, all playoff drivers. 4 wide just for a split second. We've seen a lot of 4 wide here in the past at Chicagoland. All right, qualifying is coming up. Here from Chicago. Welcome live to qualifying. Of course, 2 laps for the pole as always at these ovals. Bonus point could help these playoff drivers. Let's take a quick look at your playoff grid entering tonight. And we talked about that before. So we saw first laps being probably the fastest for most drivers. Oh, okay. Fastest for most drivers in the Xfinity race last night. Well, we'll see what happens with this Cup car. Ready for 134 laps of action tonight in Chicagoland. So, Dylan Banks was fastest. He has not been the fastest in qualifying this season, so we'll see what he can do here tonight. He usually kind of runs a little bit later. And he's not on the track just yet. White, first one down the back stretch in the 3 and 4. It's PPG Ford Mustang. And he'll go to the line to set a benchmark. 30.3 for Ashton Miller, top of the board, and White is going to be second. Ortiz Stacy's slot in. Chandler is 4th. Here is Logan Giesbrett heading down the front stretch. Crane is P7. Giesbrett is 6th. Here's Braden Hunsicker, Chandler, Crane. Lucas Lewis did not make any time in practice. Miller across the line will improve his lap time to White, and he is top of the board so far. Lindsay slots in 5th. Ortiz is 2nd. Good lap for Ortiz. Chandler will move up to 4th. Hunsicker now gets that 4th spot. And Banks and Donahue, the 2 fastest in practice. Here comes Benton as well. So you can see some drivers elect to run a little bit later. Wilkin is 6th. And this would be a very, very crucial point for Ashton Miller if he could win the pole. Matt Grab is P6 now. Oh, Lewis has crashed. He's 13th. Matt Grab backs it down. It will end up P6 currently. Banks is back on pit road. Not really sure why. Donahue goes 2nd on that first lap. Banks is back on the racetrack, but there is not much time left, so we'll see what he's able to do. Of course, was fastest in practice. Chandler here. Donahue down the backstretch for the final time. And he will be 2nd. So Ashton Miller currently just waiting on Dylan Banks probably at this point. Banks going very late here in qualifying. CJ Erdman is 16th. Here's Dylan Banks to the line. First lap only 11th for Dylan Banks. See what lap number 2 is able to bring if he can actually get there. Looking at the time, there is still a minute left. Final time down the back straightaway for the 88. Use the bottom down to the 3 and 4. Erdman is P16. Lewis is now 17th. Banks to the line, moves up to 6th. And he'll back it down. And he's the only one that was left on a fast lap. Some drivers electing not to qualify here. And that will most likely do it in qualifying. Ashton Miller going to be on the pole. Great qualifying performance for him tonight. He will win the pole, and that will give him a bonus point. Let's look at the playoff standings heading into tonight, of course, one more time. So Miller entered 8th, -10, so that's going to give him a bit of a boost as he wants to try to get one of those 4 championship 4 spots. And
Make sure
Miller,
to update, but
Yep.
also, yay! Quali first, yay!
all right, so Ashton Miller on a pole here in Chicagoland as we welcome you in live. It is race number 22 of the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season. Welcome live to Chicagoland Speedway. For the first race of the round of 8. Let's go through your top 10 real quick and get the rest of your top 20 on the screen. So you got Ashton Miller on the pole here tonight. To his outside is Aiden Donahue in the 24. Great starting spot for Carlos Ortiz. Matthew roll up in row number 2 and 4th. 5th for Hunsicker, 6th for the Bank. So top 6 all playoff drivers. Next playoff non-playoff driver is Chandler. And then you got Matt Grapp P8. He's a playoff driver. Non-playoff driver Bryce Benton P9, and then Payson Lindsay rounds out your top 10. So you have all of the playoff drivers, all 8 of them remaining inside of the top 10. And then you get the rest of your top 20 on the left side of your screen. So it's Chicagoland. 4 races left in the season, 3 races left in the round of 8, of course, kickstarting it tonight. So if a playoff driver wins tonight at Chicagoland or the next 2 weeks, Talladega and Bristol, they will be locked into the Championship 4, the battle for title in Kansas. So we're just about to roll off. Ready to kickstart the second round of the playoffs for the Cup Series. Of course, 4 drivers were eliminated. Lewis, Clausen, Butler, and Havrilla last week at the Charlotte Roval. So they've got nothing to lose here tonight. Going to be just going for a good finish or possibly even the win. As drivers will roll off the grid. Welcoming you live to Chicagoland. Of course, Miller going to be starting on the pole in the 79. Carlos Ortiz could be one to watch tonight. He's had good pace at these mile-and-a-halfs, and then we got a specialty for him, a super speedway, coming up next week in Talladega. You never know, he could snag a win there or lock himself into the Championship 4, and that would be huge for Carlos Ortiz. After just such a bad start, he made an absolutely insane turnaround this season for Ortiz in the 21. Started the season 39th in points after Richmond, and he's now in the round of 8. But here we go, rolling down in the back straightaway, ready to go green. This time by Ashton Miller, Aiden Donahue on the front row. 4 to go in the season. It is the round of 8. Going to be started here tonight. Former hoster of the Cup Series Championship. Pace car comes down pit road. We are underway in Chicagoland for the round of 8. Down the front straightaway they go for the opening time. Ashton Miller will lead lap number 1 to the inside of Aiden Donahue's Carlos Ortiz. Matthew White there as well, side by side for second place as Miller sets off into the lead. Nearly 3 wide as White tries to go to the outside to gain some momentum. Donahue trying to clear Carlos Ortiz. He will. He'll have momentum down this back straightaway. Opening laps here at Chicago.
Yeah, look at Matthew. Look at Matthew is trying to make that outside lane work there in clean air.
As we welcome Richard Cheery to the booth here tonight. So White now on the outside, of course. So the outside will wear out your tires a bit more. Don't think it's going to be as big as a factor as last night in Xfinity. Donahue putting pressure on Miller for the lead. Miller starting off the round of 8, currently the way he wants, with the lead and the pole. Back there side by side between Wilkin and the 90 of Tomlin. Matt Grab trying to get back in here. He's kind of lost a couple of spots early on here in the race. Back to P11. Donahue looks for momentum. Oh, he had nearly a spinner in the back. It was Wilkin in the 11 who got loose.
Yeah, what a save by the Lehman driver there. And also you saw before during trial how the drivers in the back of the pack were like 3 wide. That's how wide this racetrack really is. You can use basically any lane. You can use the bottom and you can use the top.
There they go. There they go, 3 by 3 down the front straightaway. You got a playoff driver, Payson Lindsay, up on the top. He currently runs 13th.
And these drivers do not want to be involved in any trouble, even though they're running 3 abreast right now. Now 2 abreast, coming to turns 3 and 4.
You look at this side-by-side battle between Grab and Tomlin. Door to door here down the front straightaway. Nearly contact as they run up into each other. And then for the lead, Donahue trying to chase down Miller. Got Cameron Chandler on the bumper of Matthew White. He's looking down to the inside now for P3. Miller leads coming to lap number 7 here at Chicago. Still now side by side. There's White falling back. Plus maybe 2 spots now to Ortiz and possibly even Hunsicker. Will fall back into P6 for the driver of the 12.
Yeah, Brian Hunsicker, who had that misfortune in the Xfinity race yesterday, but he's going to try to redeem himself in the cup race. He currently runs 5th behind Carlos Ortiz.
Ortiz, good start in the race so far, running inside the top 5. Biggest mover, I believe, is Cameron Chandler up to P3. And he's starting to challenge your 2 leaders. Chandler with 2 career wins in the Cup Series, both at mile-and-a-halfs. Won the Charlotte 600, of course, in dramatic fashion with a battle with Matthew White at the end of the race. And then won the Kansas finale last season. He's on the bumper of Donahue. 3-way battle for the top spot here in Chicagoland on lap 8.
Yeah, Cameron Chandler is going to try to seek in 3rd place right there in the Monster Energy machine. He's going to try to sweep the week by winning the Xfinity race yesterday and hopefully for him the Cup race today.
Yeah, he's been absolutely on fire as of late, especially this season. We got Matt Grab going up the track. Of course, one of your long run drivers. He currently runs 13th and he's dropping even further back now to almost P14. Stacy looks to the inside of Erdman.
Well, and even a driver as patient as Matt Grab is trying to make up spots as we see side by side between Carlos Ortiz in the 21 and Cameron Chandler in the 8.
Ortiz making a good move around the 8 machine, trying to get there at least. Now, Chandler is going to be using the outside lane. We saw how dominant that was in the Xfinity race last night. Miller trying to pull a bit of a gap. They're 3 wide down the back stretch again between Stacy Crane and Erdman. You see 3 and 4 wide time after time on the back straightaway here at Chicagoland. Nothing very uncommon there. And it is kind of just a mess back here at the moment.
Yeah, the other one, no driver wishes to be there, but unfortunately, there has to be some drivers that have to be back on the pack. We see 2 abreast now right there. Mike Grab trying to push that Chevrolet.
For the lead, down to the inside is Donahue and Miller. He'll take the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Miller
after
has it.
Miller dropping back a ton, you might wonder if the fact that he doesn't run up front that often, he won the pole here today. You might wonder if the fact that he doesn't run up front that often makes him more nervous, therefore makes him burn more his tires, and therefore makes him just drop back as the run goes on.
It definitely looked like he had a mistake there because he immediately lost now almost 3 spots to Carlos Ortiz. He fell off the pace. Oh, he's in the wall slightly.
No.
So it definitely looks like he had a bit of a mistake. He'll fall back into P4 from the pole. Oh, Ortiz has a bobble. He is blocking low on Miller. Miller goes back around the outside to get momentum.
Yeah, Carlos Ortiz has to be really careful with these blocks early in this race because otherwise he might lose a ton of points and go to Talladega and Bristol, which are 2 unpredictable racetracks with even a must-win situation. So he has to be, and every single driver has to be really careful with those moves.
Only driver inside the top 6 right now, not in the playoffs, is Cameron Chandler running in second.
Yeah, part-time driver in the Cup Series. He runs full-time in the Xfinity Series. He clinched his spot in the Championship 4 in the Xfinity Series yesterday.
Side by side between Dylan Banks and the 25 of Bryce Benson. 15 laps in, new leader Aiden Donahue up front.
But Cameron Charlie is trying to maybe get closer to him and try to make a move.
Oh, contact between the 25 of Benton and Dylan Banks. Still side by side between Miller and Hunsaker.
Yeah, and for the attacking driver, it's really frustrating when you try to pass a slower guy and it takes more than 2 laps to pass him because you feel like you're faster and you should be ahead, but this is a product for motor racing. You have to fight your position. As now Brady is probably burning his tires more because of that desperation that I was just talking about before.
Chandler trying to get to the bumper of Donahue, but you definitely know with this next-gen car, it's hard to work around the dirty air. Still side by side. There's White trying to catch up to them as well. Miller getting moved up the racetrack by Hunsaker, trying to side draft him. And once again, still door-to-door down into 1 and 2.
Aston Miller, what we were talking about before, that nervousness, which therefore makes you burn up more your tires. 17 laps into this round, he has gone from the lead after winning the pole to running in P4, fighting for P5 with Brendan Hunsaker.
Yeah, it all started with a bit of a mistake off 3 and 4 a couple of laps ago. And that makes him fall back. And there is Miller currently running in 4th. Here is Chandler.
Oh, no, man.
Chandler to the inside of Donahue. For the lead in Chicagoland, he's down to the low side. Donahue trying to carry the momentum up the top. And it looks like he will clear once again.
Yeah, that's it. That's the advantage of the top of the racetrack right there. That's what's so frustrating about. Even though Cameron Chandler is not that temperamental of a guy when it comes to driving a race car, and we see a fight between Matthew White and Dylan Banks in the 88 Valet machine. Dylan Banks trying to get past Brendan Hunsaker, and Aston Miller pulling away from this group.
And Miller maybe refining some pace. He's starting to catch up to the top 3 as well, as Chandler tries to find some clean air on the top to get around Donahue. Ortiz is also fast behind him. He looks down to the inside now for second. Oh, Chandler in the wall slightly.
Carlos Ortiz, who lately has had a lot of momentum. He has gone from a guy that could be in the mid-pack to be a guy running up front. So let's see what Ortiz can do here tonight.
Chandler has a bit of damage on that machine now. Oh, and he's kind of loose down in 3 and 4. Top 4 now battling. Here comes Ashton Miller, running faster than the 3 of them, trying to get back up front after winning the pole.
Here comes Aston Miller trying to make a move on Carlos Ortiz, but he's not gonna work. Aston Miller stays with his popcorn. Here comes Carlos Ortiz on the bottom.
First, second, Ortiz in the 21. Chandler now has the high side. Looking to get momentum around there. Where's Miller gonna go? Ortiz sending it back in there on the bottom, looking to clear Cameron Chandler, and he will. Joe Chandler back to the inside aggressively, trying to side draft him down the backstretch in the 3 and 4.
And I don't know who, so all he's doing right now is thanking Carlos Ortiz and Cameron Chandler. He's just pulling out way more, almost contact there.
Side by side down the front stretch yet again. Where's Miller gonna go? They're still door to door.
Aston Miller trying to get some clean air in the middle. Now he's going to push Carlos Ortiz.
Got Nolan Crane breaking inside of the top 7. Now Matthew White almost falling back to 8th. Miller now to the top.
Yeah, it's a weird struggle for last week's winner in the Charlotte Roval, Matthew White. He's just dropping back like a feather.
Crap on the trot in front straightaway.
Oh, a couple of cars involved, and caution gonna come out.
Yeah, 3 cars just wrecked. Thanks, Cole Clausen, for telling us about that wreck.
I got you.
McGrath is involved, Trenton Wilken is involved. I saw Lucas Lewis get involved also. Let's see what happened.
So side by side, Lewis and oh, what was that on Lucas Lewis? That was not good at all. Just turns the 11 for seemingly no reason. Let's take a look. Riding along with Lucas Lewis in the 73. To the inside of him. Yeah, just right hooks him, I think. And they both take a hard hit to the wall. Matt Grapp has big damage on his 53. Not what he needed at all. It's right along with Matt Grapp through this crash. Minding his own business back here. Yeah, I don't know. Almost looked like maybe. Oh! And that could be day over.
Yeah, it's going to be day over for sure. A lot of rear suspension damage. Unfortunate by the Texas driver.
Lewis just down to the inside of Wilken, just turns him around. Not really. Yeah, see that hard hit by the 53 of Matt Grapp. So caution is out. Leaders are beginning the pit. Now they are on a pit road. There they are. So leaders pitting currently. Good stop for Dylan Banks. He'll be off first. I believe that was probably only 2 tires. So lap 26, first caution of the day. Second is going to be Donahue. Third is going to be Miller, I believe, just barely beats Ortiz. Lots of spots lost for the 8 of Cameron Chandler. Will be back to P9. White maybe gains 1. Crane maybe gains 1. Benson gains a couple. But Dylan Banks will take 2 tires from the looks of it and take the lead on lap 26 under the first caution of the day.
Dylan Banks says, you know what? I'm not in the playoffs anymore, so I'm going to just try some gambles, especially in the first stage of this race, and see if it works. It works. If it doesn't, well, just whatever. Well, actually, Dylan Banks is in the playoffs. I apologize for that.
Banks currently, if we can look at the standings right now, currently sits in the playoffs, P3 plus 8. So he doesn't have a ton to work with, especially with 2 very unpredictable racetracks coming up next.
Yeah, but he's just one of those gamblers in this field. Sometimes some drivers want to try out some stuff, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, they have a long race to go here.
So, of course, lap 67 is the halfway break. We're still about 50 laps away from that.
Meanwhile, Matt Grapp, it caught my attention how he's still on the racetrack. Let's show him here in the 53 Ford. He
Jeez.
doesn't have that much damage, which is surprising.
Honestly, a shocker there.
Yep.
He isn't absolutely destroyed.
Or he isn't. He just repair every single damage he has. Or probably he got hit on the door and not on the tolling. So, yeah, he's just on the racetrack on the lead lap. So Ethan, lead us to a restart.
Can I
So-
commentate?
You're the
Alright.
guy.
Please.
Out of
I'm
no-
bored. I'm bored.
Okay, can we just move him?
All right.
So,
Okay.
so back to the green flag. Banks and Donahue on the front row. Back underway here in Chicagoland. Good restart for Banks, and Donahue does not really get going. Now they're going to be side by side between Miller and 24. For a second, door to door. And down the back straightaway, Donahue will clear Miller. Oh, crash!
Oh!
Rain is sideways, and so that's going to be a wreck. Caution, of course.
Yep. Unfortunate there for Nolan Crane, who doesn't seem to have that much damage. Second caution of the day. And let's see the damage to Matthews Carwell. First of all, let's see the replay to see what happened.
So they head down the backstretch. Oh yeah, just got turned around. Oh, and then got hooked by Erdman as the caution comes out.
And also, let's see the damage on Erma's car. It might be even worse than on Matthew and on Nolan Crane.
Oh, looks
Yep.
like Benson
We don't-
maybe got a bit as Erdman. Erdman doesn't look terrible. Let's take another ride with him. Riding along with CJ Erdman in the 94. And oh yeah, didn't actually get him too bad. So Matthew White, of course, involved pretty good there. Yeah, so Benson ahead of White and Crane. Crane goes up the racetrack slightly. Benson looking like he's trying to find a place in line, and oh, maybe Crane kind of turned down on Benson slightly. Brings out the caution as the 9 is currently on pit road. Matt Grab as well. Matthew White coming off. I don't really guess Banks pitted. Yes, he did. So Banks will pit. Strategy did not work out for him, so he'll be on pit road. Here is the 9 and the 53 still on pit road.
Yeah, and Matthew right now he's going to have to make up a lot of spots. And he's going to try to be lucky to not get involved in any wreck and maybe try to make his way up to the front. There are 18 drivers right now in this field, which means that there is only one person that is going to be outside the point, which is the top 17.
Okay, so currently Wilkin and Butler running 19th and 20th. So Crane's still on pit road. The damage wasn't awful in his machine. There is Matt Grab still trying to repair damage from his earlier incident. And after Banks pits, cycles to 15th, Donahue will now take the lead.
Didn't work there for Dylan Banks. Fortunately, he has that caution, so now he's going to have to make up a lot of spots. So we're gonna have to get a quick word with Cole Clausen. So Cole, how do you feel?
Car feels pretty good. I was in the back there at that first run, but we're up to P9 now, so we made some good gains after that caution, but looking to get possibly up to top 5 maybe here.
All right.
We were going to restart here on lap 32. crane just trying to get some repairs. He's going to be maybe a lap down or so. And we're back underway in Chicagoland. Let's try this again. Bad restart again for the outside lane.
Yep, and that's a consequence of restarting second because Carlos doesn't have that much experience there right up front, so he's going to pull back and obey to iRacing speed limit. As here comes Brennan Hunziker on the bottom, and you see two freight train down the back straightaway.
Almost
Two
three
freight train, I should say.
3 wide behind him for a second. Chandler trying to get back inside of the top 5 after losing spots on pit road. The first caution of the day.
And Chandler just desperate to try to get those spots that were lost on pit road.
Benton has a bit of damage on his 25 on the quarter panel. Just a light bit of contact. Dylan Banks trying to get inside of here. Matthew White with that after being involved in that crash. Currently runs 15th.
Yeah, a bad day so far for the driver of the 12 car from New Jersey.
Down to the inside goes Benson on Lindsay. Almost 3 wide as Chandler up to the top with momentum. And Benson's going to clear for a 5th. Lindsay slides up the track in front of Clausen.
Here comes Cameron Chandler on Bryce Benton. Bryce Benton, who has 7 top 10s and a top 5 since returning to a league, but needs a return to form since he only has 1 top 10 in the last 4 races. So let's see if Bryce Benton can make up some of that. Fortunate as here comes Aston Miller on the top.
Trying to get momentum to re-clear Carlos Ortiz and possibly take the lead on Aiden Donahue. He's got a run. He's looking down to the inside in 3 and 4. Your pole sitter looking to take the lead back. Good run from the top by the 24 of Donahue again, and he'll clear him. Go Clausen getting up to the P7.
Yeah, Cole Clausen, who hasn't had double-digit points since Nashville, but he can he can be around the top 10 and maybe get a surprise result, as we are seeing now, where he's 7th. Aston Miller, however, is still trying to make a move on the top in 3 and 4.
For the lead in Chicagoland. Miller
He's
trying
like
to
top.
Oh, he's almost in the wall. And they're side by side down the front straightaway. Carlos Ortiz looking to make it 3 wide middle for a second.
He regrets of it, however.
Still kind of tough to pass. Now Miller has the outside. He's going to try to get there. They're door to door here on lap 37. Look at Hunziker in the 6 trying to get into this battle as well. Miller getting momentum. Oh, look at Ortiz. He's going to go 3 wide in the bottom. 3 by 3 for the lead in Chicagoland. Carlos Ortiz looking for it.
Will it
Donahue.
stick?
Miller on the top. Ortiz in the bottom. Donahue falls back. Now side by side with Hunziker. And Miller is not clear just yet.
Whoa, spinning down the back straightaway almost.
They all
Between
save it.
CJ. Yep.
Still door to door. Ortiz and Miller.
Man, what a move there by Carlos Ortiz, making it 3 abreast and now fighting for the lead. What a race we have here Ethan.
Where's Donahue going to go? He's going to go to the outside to try to get momentum again. Trying to get there. Miller wants to block him off. Donahue's got momentum to try to retake the lead. He's on the bumper of the 79. Pushing him down this back straightaway. Miller and Donahue both clear Ortiz. Chandler back here as well. Look at Cole Clausen up into P6. They're going 3 wide down the front straightaway. Dylan Banks on those little bit fresher tires on the bottom. Ortiz at the inside of Donahue. Now back to the outside. Look at this scrambling down the back straightaway as well. As they still are 3 wide. Chandler falls back a bit. Gets cut off by the 6 of Hunziker. Ooh, Benson nearly in the fence. Now Miller trying to hold on with the 24 on his bumper.
Here comes Jeremy Challer on Dylan Banks for fourth place, actually.
Oh, contact,
Yeah.
Lindsay and Benson teammates. Both get into each other, and they will both save it.
A pace of Lindsay, who won a Daytona earlier in this season, been kind of in the mid-pack, and he doesn't seem to have the pace to run up front.
Yeah, he's looking to get inside the championship for the first time in his career, and now he's side by side with Matthew White for 12th on the backstretch. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Giesbrett. Getting confused with the freeway insurance cars. Where's this 24 gonna go? Go to the outside. Miller goes bottom, trying to hang on. Lindsay
If there is something that is going to help Aiden Donoghue in this battle for the lead in these next two races, is the fact that he already has won 9 races. He looks to be the first driver in the Cup Series to ever win double-digit races. So that experience is going to help him to be calm during this battle for the lead.
Side by side here between Clausen and Lindsay for P7. Clausen, of course, not in the playoffs anymore. Just doesn't have anything to worry about at this point for points.
Yep, the Season 2 champion is not going to be able to revalidate his title at Kansas, but he can still maybe win some races and get great results to for him to be as high as possible in the championship, as Aiden Donoghue is mailing Aston Miller's back bumper.
Miller definitely better on the short run. Donoghue better on the long run.
Meanwhile, Carlos Ortiz is there as an spectator.
Where is Ortiz going to go? He's had a very, very good race so far tonight. It's been inside the top 5 all day. Nearly took the lead at one point after going 3 wide in the bottom. .22 to go till the halfway break here in Chicagoland on lap number 46. Chandler now door-to-door with Clausen for P6. Clausen worked his way to the inside, but now momentum coming back to the top. Clausen slides up the track, might lose a spot or two now to Lindsay, who gets loose and gets around it.
Meanwhile, Matthew White wondering, what the hell am I doing here? I should be fighting with Aiden Donoghue and these people.
Matthew White currently runs P11. We're going to the outside of the 96 is Stacy, who's had a decent run so far tonight, currently running in 10th. Dylan Banks now inside the top 5. He's looking to battle inside this for the lead. Hunsicker running quietly in 4th, but starting to catch Ortiz. Only one kind of that's nearly on the top inside the top 5 is Dylan Banks. He's got fresher tires. Not by much, though. White has now gotten around Stacy for 10th. Now nearly a 5-way battle for the lead here in Chicagoland. Also, we're going to have changing track conditions with the sun beginning to go down. Donoghue gets a bit loose, and he's got Ortiz back on his bumper.
And you might wonder which drivers is it going to benefit, and which drivers is it going to make their races worse.
Ooh, bobble there for Carlos Ortiz, a corner exit. That might cost him momentum with Hunsicker going to the top. As Ashton Miller leads on lap 50. Donoghue still fighting.
Yep, and then Donoghue was out of the last 9 races, he has won 6. And then Donoghue is seeking to win 7 out of the last 10. So this is a season already for the history books on the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series.
I know Ashton Miller definitely wants a victory tonight. He is tired of coming up short. Finished second multiple times this season. He currently leads here in Chicagoland with on lap 52 now.
Yeah, and Aston Miller has never won a race in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. He's looking to win his first race in this league and probably get a shot at a championship at Kansas on February 20th in less than a month.
Yeah, Miller wants to win a race, and if he does in the round of 8, like Cheery said, he would be locked into the championship 4. Looking down to the inside is Hunsicker on Ortiz.
Yeah, Brian Hunsicker has safety status really well, and he's going to make the move for third place. Carlos Ortiz holds his ground, however, and what will Dylan Banks do in that 88?
Currently, the only playoff driver that wouldn't score stage points right now, as Donnie is looking to the inside of Miller, is Matt Grab running 14th. And for the lead. And he clears him. Oh, but Miller's put in the wall.
Yep, Aiden Donovan has safety status really well. And yep, Aston Miller is going to go lower. This time we saw him go way on the top in 3 and 4. Now they're side by side.
Oh, look at Hunsicker. Down low, 3 wide. Trying to make it work.
Would it work?
He's trying to go. They're all loose. Trying to get there. Miller trying to side draft the 24 again.
And we have the 3 manufacturers right now in NASCAR, one Chevrolet, one Toyota, and one Ford in the top 3. They touch now coming to turn 3 and 4.
Aggressive side draft between the two of them. Still side by side in 3 and 4 once again. Braden Hunsicker kind of just staying content for now. Where's he gonna go? Oh, he's looking to maybe force it. I thought he was forcing it middle. There's just no room. Miller gets a pretty decent corner, and he'll clear Donahue again. And where is Hunsicker gonna go?
Just nowhere to go here.
Ooh, Donahue slides a bit up the racetrack, and the 6 going to his door. Miller came in -10, and it would be absolutely crucial for him to get these points. Even though Hunsicker, who's on the bubble, currently 4th, runs the 3rd, maybe even 2nd. But any points he can get would help Miller. Banks still kind of just quietly running 4th. Ooh, nearly contact down the front straightaway. And this is where all these playoff points that these drivers earned in the season, in the regular season, I should say, are going to help out them in the rounds of the playoffs, giving them a big advantage, like Donahue, White, Hunsicker, Banks, unlike drivers like Ashton Miller, who currently sits -10 before the race. Oh, Donahue in the wall slightly. Last time he hit the wall, didn't end so well for him at the Charlotte Roval. 9 to go till the halfway break. Miller still trying to hang on, but these two are racing aggressively side by side behind him.
And those side drafts don't even seem that close from the inside of the car, but they are close from a spectator standpoint.
Door to door down this front stretch once again.
And Dylan Banks hugging that wall, trying to make up some difference.
Momentum, go!
Whoa.
Contact!
Now Aston Miller using the middle.
And Donahue is going to get cleared by Hunsicker. And now Hunsicker on Miller. Donahue back to the inside. Oh, Hunsicker really aggressively to the inside. Miller slides. And they're door-to-door for the lead. Braden Hunsicker almost made contact with Miller, and he's going to clear him for the top spot.
Whoa.
Miller is going to fall back to third. Now the 24 on the bumper, the 6. The 6 is loose. Hunsicker, oh, Miller on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, while there, Aiden Donahue got tight, so Braden Hunsicker was able to make that difference. Now Aiden Donahue goes to the top of the racetrack.
And here comes Banks. Where is he going to go?
I don't know. In fourth place, you don't have that much places to go.
Only driver inside the top 5 that hasn't won this season is Ashton Miller. Looking to the inside of Donahue again. Oh, he gets him loose. They both get loose. Donahue hits the wall slightly. Miller really driving in it deep. Donahue slides around just a bit. Now where's Banks going to go? This is starting to allow Hunsicker just to pull away. There are Banks in the wall, but he's the third. He's on the bumper of the 24. Late charge on the stage by Dylan Banks. Four to go to the halfway break in Chicagoland. Banks looking back low on Donahue. Ooh, bit of a slide again for the 24. He's probably looking forward to some fresh tires. Maybe repairing a bit of that damage. Banks who was fastest in practice. Oh, Miller on the wall.
And
Banks
Braden Hunsicker is pulling away from the rest of the field.
So inside the top 10 currently are all playoff drivers. So every single playoff driver right now would get at least one stage point. Only non-playoff drivers are Cameron Chandler and Cole Clausen. And Hunsicker has 2 to go to the halfway break to try to get the green and white checker flag. Banks now kind of starting to fall off. Miller could be coming with momentum. Big charge at the end of the stage for Cameron Chandler. He runs 5th. And coming to the final lap of the stage, running probably the fastest times on the track, is Braden Hunsicker. Final lap. Second currently is Donahue. Third, Banks. Fourth, Miller, but he's got Chandler to his outside. Looking for momentum as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Also door-to-door here between Clausen and Ortiz for a second. In the 3 and 4. And Braden Hunsicker going to see the green and white checker flag. He'll win the stage in Chicagoland. Second, Donahue. Third, Banks. Fourth, Miller. Fifth, Clausen. Sixth, Ortiz. And everybody else across the line. So the caution is out here in Chicagoland. Then you got White, Grab, and Lindsay. Final stage points. Braden Hunsicker wins the stage after taking the lead late.
How about Matt Grab, who had that trouble there in the trial earlier this race? Now he gains 2 stage points, which are going to be really crucial after Bristol.
Yeah, we'll see what Matt Grab can do for the rest of the race. So Payson Lindsay scores the final stage point. As we are under the caution flag for the halfway break in Chicagoland. Braden Hunsicker currently leads. So, Banks is fastest in practice. Miller won the pole. Hunsicker wins the stage. Now just the race left to decide. And here we go. Coming to pit. Everybody on pit road. I would not expect anybody to stay out. And they won't. All right. Everyone pitting here. So Donahue in the 24 and Ashton Miller in the 79 might have a bit of damage on the sides of their race cars that they may need to repair from slamming the wall towards the end of the stage. Miller's got that number 1 pit stall. He slides through his box just slightly. Matthew White does as well. So here we go. Ready for the race off pit road. 4 fresh Goodyear tires for everybody. Good stop for Miller. Miller's going to be off pit road first. Second's going to be the 24. And a bad stop by Braden Hunsaker. He'll be back to 5th. Banks loses a spot. Chandler gains 1. Miller to the lead. Good stop by Ashton Miller. Donahue holds in 2nd. And that's just that number 1 pit stall. That see the advantage of it for Ashton Miller. Another advantage but to winning the pole.
Yep, you basically have to gas it up flat out, and you don't have to obey pit road speed because it is way too short between the number 1 pit stall and the exit pit line.
Okay, so Cherry, so exciting first half. Braden Hunsaker won the stage, but he's going to fall back to P5 after a pretty poor pit stop and exit off pit road. So what do we think we're going to see in the second half?
A lot of craziness. The sun is going down and the intensity is going to go up.
Well, we're going to restart here on lap 72, past halfway. All right, here we go. Lowest running playoff driver currently is Matt Grab, 13th. Matt Grab looking for a bit of a turnaround, lost some spots there on pit road. Been a very quiet night for him after being involved in that early crash, but he's rebounded, fixed some damage, and just looking to have a good finish tonight. And then Talladega could be up to any one of these playoff drivers. You can go from 8th to 1st in the points by winning Talladega by locking yourself into the championship 4 if no playoff driver would win tonight.
Yeah, and there are some good restrictor plate drivers in this field like Carlos Ortiz or Payson Lynch who don't run up front that often. So lead us to a restart, Ethan.
Miller, Donahue for the second half, back underway in Chicagoland. Good restart once again by Miller. Got banked in the bumper of Donahue. They push up to the top. Down in the 1 and 2 they go. Now, oh! Banks got sideways for a second. There is the 8 of Chandler to the inside of Donahue in the 24. As they head onto the back straightaway. Where is the 24 machine going to make his move?
He's not going to be able to make his move right now because he has Cameron Chandler on the bottom. Cameron Chandler trying to fight and then Donahue for second.
Side by side down the front straightaway. Oh, aggressively. Payson Lindsay is loose on Matt Grab's bumper for 3 wide here between Clausen, White, and Ortiz. Clausen on the outside, White overdriving it through the middle. Matthew White's had a very quiet night. Today we got a car loose in the back. It was Eli Tomlin who's nearly going around. He's through the grass, and he's going to save it in the 90.
Whoa!
Oh,
Carlos
spinner!
Ortiz and Matt Grab.
Oh, back up into
Whoa,
traffic.
Payson.
Matt Grab
Yep.
gonna drive it back to pit row. He's still in the, should be throw the yellow, I don't know.
Nah.
No, there are 3 cars right there, so it's up to your decision, Ethan.
Right,
But
they all-
Matt Grab with a lot of damage to his race car. You see he's stalling there. The right front just kind of turning to the right, and it is not supposed to go that way, obviously. So that's basically race over for him. As Cameron Chandler now is trying to make a move on Aston Miller for first.
So the only car that didn't save it was Matt Grab, and he got going again, so the race will stay green. But Chandler's starting to fight Miller for the lead. Donahue back in the 3rd with Hunsaker now on his bumper. Mac grab here down the front straightaway. You see his machine is pretty damaged. Most likely would be night over for him. To the top goes Chandler. Looking to get momentum around the outside. Has the top lane, but Miller still holding on. And it's been one of the better races of the season so far for Ashton Miller. They're also racing side by side here between Hunsaker and Banks. And Miller and Chandler are both just kind of pulled away from the rest of the grid. Gotta be wondering how much tire savings going on back there as Miller looks to the inside, Chandler looks to the inside, gets Miller in the 79 loose. Chandler back to the low side here on Miller. They're door to door down the front straightaway. Cameron Chandler looking to take the lead, and he will clear him on lap 78.
Yep, Cameron Chandler who was, oh my god, meanwhile we see there just like a whole school group going down the street. We see 3 wide back there. Oh my goodness.
It is a mess as Cole Clausen hits the wall slightly. Donahue on the bottom getting squeezed by Pace and Lindsay. You see everybody just in basically a pile here. It is absolute mess. Fourth on back. 3 by 3.
There's like the 10-man group you see at school often.
Oh, Matthew White slides slightly. Looks like what we're going to see next week in Talladega.
Yeah, there's like a preview. Everybody, top, middle, bottom.
Oh, Matthew
White!
White! In the wall hard goes Stacy. White's going to, oh, he's spinning back up into traffic. Caution.
Would it be over for Matthew White for this race?
Unfortunate once again. He has big damage. Doesn't look horrible, but still doesn't look good. Let's take a look at what happened to bring out the caution on lap 80.
That was insane, my goodness.
Oh, Benton just drives in deep, turns Matthew White around, gets Stacy in the wall, and then White hooks Johnson, gets him spun around in front of the rest of the field, and then he takes another shot into the vents, and the caution will come out. Let's ride along with Bryce Benton through this one in the 25 to see what happens. Oh yeah, he got almost turned in front of by Lucas Lewis, and then he just overdrives it slightly, turns into Matthew White, gets him around. And man, that was absolutely chaotic back there. And White hit the wall. So, Benson gets involved in that one. Chandler has the lead currently. So we'll see if drivers elect to pit. They had 4 sets of tires on pit road. I believe they used 2 already. From one of the earlier cautions and then the halfway break. We got 54 to go. I'm going to 53 to go this time. And looks like we're going to have a split decision. Miller's going to stay out. Banks is going to stay out. Rest of the field, though, looks like they're pitting. So interesting strategy by the 88 and the 79.
Yep.
And then Cole,
How many?
if you can.
How many?
Yeah,
How many tire sets are there for tonight?
4.
Oh, so they're wanting to save some tire sets for the end of the race if there is a caution. If the caution doesn't come out, however, they are basically cooked.
Quick stop for Chandler. Same thing with the 6 of Hunsaker and Aiden Donahue. As Cole Clausen comes rolling off pit road. And now that he's off pit road speed, Cole, can you give us a bit of an update on fuel after U-pit?
Yeah, fuel right now is just about 58 laps, so we should definitely be good to go. But you know, these leaders that stayed out, if they don't get caution, then it's basically night over for them.
Yeah, they're gonna have to save big time. Miller and the 88 of Banks, so they're probably about 10 laps less than that, so they definitely can't make it to the end. With 53 to go. Have to save like 5, 6, possibly 7 laps. But everybody else should be barely okay without a caution.
I tell you what, though, that was some fun racing up there. When that caution came out, I was in 4th place, so it's pretty good to be running up front for once. And man, I wish I was in the playoffs.
Yeah, unfortunately for Cole Clausen, eliminated after the Charlotte Roval after a tough round of 12. But here we go. We were that. Okay, I can't talk again. I should be fired at this point. I feel like that's my main job, but I can't talk. I suck at it. All right, so whatever. We're gonna be back to the green flag this time on lap 84. So it'll be 51 to go once the green flag comes back out.
Yeah, and the front row might not be that cooked because nobody else took tires. They went just pitted for gas.
All right. But rest of the leaders besides Miller and Banks are going to be good to the end. 79 and the 88 both going to need cautions, and they're going to have to save if they don't pit. Ashton Miller has had a very good night so far. And he's led the most laps. Pace car back on pit road. And we are back underway here at Chicagoland. Decent start by Miller and the aid of Chandler. Banks trying to get back going up on the outside. Into 1 and 2 they go, side by side. Oh, Miller up the racetrack. Here comes Chandler. Into 3 and 4. Miller looks for momentum. Chandler drives in deep, and he'll take the lead. Now, where's Ashton going to go? He's on the bumper of the 8 of Chandler. 3 wide further back, Lindsay to the top of Donahue with Hunsaker working low.
Yeah, based on this, he seems to have taken tires, so he's going as aggressive as much aggressiveness as he possibly can.
Update again on Matthew White. It's been a very, very tough night for the Season 1 Cup Series champion. He currently runs 14th. He's been involved in 2 incidents.
And he has 5.5 minutes of repairs.
Yeah, after taking that hard hit. Still on the racetrack, though. Side by side, Donahue and Lindsay. Banks now head of the 24 machine. Been a bit since Dylan Banks went to victory lane. Oh, they nearly wrecked back there. Oh, Lucas Lewis.
Whoa!
Huge hit into the wall, and that's going to bring out a yellow. Again.
Man!
What was that?
What an overcorrection there. And he got C.J. Ehrman in the mix.
Second incident like that Lucas Lewis has been involved in the front straightaway, so... Oh, yeah, just door slams the 90 of Tomlin from the looks of it and just absolutely hammers the wall. Oh, and Erdman just gets him in the very last spot he wanted to get him. And that'll be night over for both of those drivers. And yeah, this looks like one came down, maybe one came up. Oh, huge hit, and then along comes Erdman to absolutely slam into him. It's right along with the 94 of Erdman. We gotta be wondering, are Miller and Banks both gonna think about pitting here? There he goes, and oh yeah, guessed wrong on where he was gonna go. And Erdman is all torn up.
Lucas Lewis' incident is why you don't overcorrect that much on an oval racetrack.
So it's been a bit of a chaotic night throughout. 5th caution of the day. And we're going to see Banks pit. And oh, God, what a late lunge by the 8 of Chandler. Wow. A couple of cars stay out. He nearly wrecked coming to pit road. So it looks like Lindsay, Clausen, Tomlin, maybe another one. Ortiz going to all stay out.
Yeah, Dylan Banks communicated to his team that he was going to pit this huge for this race, and then and Aston Miller just overshot the pistol.
Pit road, all first going to be the 88 of Dylan Banks. Great stop for him. Cameron Chandler looked like he's slow off pit road. There goes Logan Giesbrett. I believe Banks maybe only took 2 tires. 4 tires for the 79 and the 24, and the 6 of Hunsicker's off. Then I got Landon Johnson, and a bad stop for Cameron Chandler. After leading, he's going to be back to P11. Matthew White still trying to repair some damage. And just been a very, very tough night for Matthew White, and frustrating for him. This is the site that he won his Season 1 Cup Series championship at. As we'll come to lap number 90 here tonight. So that means 45 to go. 22nd race of the season. All right, so lap 90, that's the Xfinity race distance, of course. So grab off pit road, Lewis, Urban, Stacy still on pit road. Oh, okay. So Matt Grab apparently got loose on pit road. Matthew White still with big damage. Urban, you can see he's probably done. Same thing with Lucas Lewis. Stacy still sitting here. And here we go once again. Pace car back on pit road. 44 laps to go in Chicagoland. Green flag back in the air. Pace and Lindsay has the lead. Ortiz now looking to get in the second place. You got Dylan Banks in the 88 on the bottom. Looking to get in the third.
I will Pace on Lynch's strategy of staying out on those old tires going to work. Carlos Ortiz is going to make the move for the lead right now.
Door to door down the back straightaway. Oh, car on the wall. Bit of a slap there for Tomlin. Ortiz gonna clear for the lead. Oh, Lindsay up the racetrack, checking everybody up on those older tires. Banks into second place now. Hunsicker looking for third on Lindsay. Ooh, more cars slamming the wall. Carlos Ortiz pulling away by nearly 3/10 down the front straightaway. See Donahue in the bottom. Here comes Chandler. Chandler looks low. Donahue now going through the middle, trying to pressure Hunsicker for fourth. Oh, but he slides in the wall slightly for the 24. And now he's getting to the, oh, contact! And they're almost 4 wide down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4. Everybody's still trying to squeeze each other. Still a mess.
And Aiden Donahue is going to make the move for third. Now he's going to the hunt of Dylan Banks and Carlos Ortiz, who is pulling away currently.
Down the backstretch they go. Hunsicker on Donahue. Here comes Chandler to the bottom. Banks is falling back. And Ortiz is pulling away to about 7/10 as they get all tight behind him. Ooh. Still 3 wide. Now Miller kind of getting pushed up to the top. Not what he needs back there at all. Probably not loving where he is currently for Ashton Miller. Now this 4-car battle for second. Gotta be wondering, is Ortiz driving it in too deep to not save tires? We'll have to see. He's pulling away a lot, even still almost 9/10 of a second. Will that go back to bite him in the long run if we have one of those? Chandler still trying to battle with the 6 of Hunsicker. Chandler wants to get a bit of redemption on Aiden Donahue. Last time those two went at it for the win. It ended up being Donahue up top in the Xfinity Series, and now they want to try to have another one of those battles here in the Cup Series. We'll see how, if they do have one, how it'll play out. As now Chandler's to the outside of Donahue for third. Chandler pushing hard here early on in this run.
And Payson leads in the wall. They're coming into zone 3.
Chandler still door to door. Dylan Banks is kind of just holding everybody up from the looks of it.
Yeah, here comes the school group once again.
Here comes Miller as well, trying to push his way inside of the top 3. He's made up spots, and now Chandler to the inside of Banks.
We're going to make it work.
Oh, he's nearly makes contact with the 88 as they will come to lap number 100 in Chicagoland. 35 to go. Ortiz has about 1.5 second lead.
The gap between second and 11th place is 7/10 of a second. That's how tight. Oh!
Donahue way up the track in the wall.
And how equal this race really is, as Aiden Donahue is going to drop back like a feather.
Basin in the wall. He'll save it. Nearly a big wreck by Payson Lindsay. Made contact with Tomlin by the looks of it. Donahue works to the inside of Landon Johnson. Bryce Benton back there. Donahue currently running in 9th as Chandler's beginning the run down Carlos Ortiz, and now here's Miller to the inside of the 88 of Banks. Banks still trying to fight Ashton Miller off. And they're all catching the 21 of Ortiz for the lead. Oh, where's Hunsicker going to go? Almost made it aggressively to the bottom. Miller drives it in really deep on Dylan Banks. He'll clear him. P3 for Ashton Miller, but he slides around slightly as they head down the back straightaway. Here's Johnson to the inside of Benton. Landon Johnson having a good run up in 7th now. He'll clear Bryce Benton. Donahue looking to fight back. Carlos Ortiz wants to try to hold on, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, Carlos Ortiz seeking to become the first Hispanic driver to win a NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. His family is from Mexico, but he was born in Miami, Florida. So let's see if Carlos Ortiz can make history tonight.
Donahue for 8th. Bit of a loose bump there as Payson Lindsay kind of starts to fall back on the top side. Here is Miller putting pressure on Chandler. Got to be wondering how hard is Chandler pushing on his tires. I would assume Ortiz's tires are not looking the best after he pushed really early in the run.
Yep, and Aston Miller might either try to help Cam and Chandler, or try to make the move and then make the move on Carlos Ortiz.
Donahue around the outside of Johnson. That's going to be for 7th. They're beginning to kind of stall out on Ortiz. Team Chevy Motor Club running 1 and 2. 3rd place is Ethan Trendler Racing. 4th place, Nolan Crane Racing. 5th place, Highline Motorsports. Donahue looking to the inside of Lindsay.
And meanwhile, Aiden Donahue running in 6th place at the moment. Aiden Donahue could drop back a ton earlier in that almost wreck. He was able to get away from it, and now he's trying to make up what he lost earlier in this run.
Miller in his 2nd place. He is past Cameron Chandler.
And the Michigan driver is going to try to chase his first iRacing Cup Series win.
Lap 109 underway here at Chicagoland.
Cameron Chandler not giving up, however.
26 to go. Chandler wants to try to get around Miller again. Chandler was rapidly catching Ortiz, and he was pulling away from everybody else, but then all of a sudden kind of fell off. Here's Hunsicker and Banks side by side. Where's the 24 going to go? He's looking to go 3 wide on the bottom. For 4th. Donahue on the bottom of Hunsicker and Dylan Banks. 3 wide, 3 by 3 down the back straightaway still as Donahue finds a place back in line. Ooh, pressure. Side by side between the 6 and the 88. 24 to go.
And meanwhile, Landon Johnson having an impressive run right now, running in the top 7, trying to make the pass for 7th on pace on Lindsay.
And back to the inside, 3 wide, down the back straightaway once again is Donahue. He's really driving into deep now. Almost overcorrects, but he'll clear them both somehow. That's insanely impressive by the 24.
Yep, it's time to go for him.
Now, and this is kind of just costing them both. They're losing time to everybody and losing more spots. Banks and now they finally clear each other. Banks and Hunsicker were side by side for about 10 laps straight from the looks of it. Finally clearing each other's then. Miller beginning to catch Carlos Ortiz. Cameron Chandler has found the outside. He's pressuring the wall.
Yep, these drivers have to already try something to try to win this race.
Ortiz's car, half Mexico, half the United States, so pretty cool looking paint scheme on him. And he's looking to get his first ever win. He's trying to hold on for 21 more laps, but charging Miller, Chandler, Donahue, Hunsicker, not even Banks at this point. Banks has fallen back even more now on the longer run, back to 6th. Miller going to be looking for some clean air. He knows he's probably faster than the 21. Same thing with Chandler. Let's see what they're both able to do with it.
Meanwhile, the 24 is catching the three of these guys.
Miller goes to the outside. He gets bit tight. Ortiz probably just taking the line he wants, and now here comes Chandler.
And this is a moment of tension for both Carlos Ortiz and Aston Miller, who have never won a cup race.
They both want it badly. Who wants it worse enough? To the inside now goes Miller. He's there. On his bump, he nearly got there. He's going to the top. On Carlos Ortiz. And, oh, Ortiz looking to glow.
Whoa!
Insanely aggressive block down to the inside. Again for Ortiz.
They wanted this bad. How insane.
But here comes Chandler. Chandler to the outside and Miller. 18 to go. Here comes Cameron Chandler to the top. He's ripping the board, or almost ripping the boards, not really. Oh, Miller slides up into the door of him. Chandler's there. He's in the wall, but he's to the outside. For the lead. Here comes Hunsicker and Donahue. Chandler's going to clear him with 17 to go. And this allowed the 24 and the 6 both to close in. Hunsicker now looking to get a run.
And Cameron Chandler seems to be pulling away, as Carlos Ortiz seems to have burned his tires.
Donahue in the wall. Now down to the inside is the 6 of Hunsicker.
And how close that side drive really was.
Miller has to be frustrated with the 21 of Carlos Ortiz.
Yeah, you saw them just fighting and thriving for that first spot. They wanted that win so badly, so bad, that they let just Cameron Chandler go back. Here comes Brian Hunsicker.
Hunsicker under Ortiz and gets the spot. Now Donahue to the outside as well. Ortiz trying to fight him off. Looking to make an aggressive side draft, almost 3 wide. Miller on the bottom. Everybody knows they gotta keep fighting. Remember, Hunsicker late in the run before the stage end came on strong and got the stage win. Can he do the same thing in the race with 15 to go? Donahue is now clear.
Man, this has really been a race of comers and goers. The comers could be Brian Hunsicker and Hayden Donahue, and the goers are Carlos Ortiz and Aston Miller, and someone who has stayed in between those groups is Cameron Chandler, who is leading. But here comes Brian Hunsicker, Ethan.
Hunsicker sends it in there on Chandler, trying to make a slide job where it was made famous in Chicagoland. It almost works. Chandler back to the inside. Side by side, Chandler gets the spot back again, impressively. Hunsicker back to the inside though. Maybe pulling another slide job on him with 13 to go. Oh, they both slide each other up the racetrack, and now the 24 coming in. Hunsicker drives it in deep, and he'll clear him with 12 laps to go. Now Chandler looking to fight back. Lap car Matt Grab up ahead of them. Back to the outside goes the 8. Oh, and he's in the wall. Mistake by the 8 of Chandler. Miller still running in 4th. Carlos Ortiz falling to 5th, and now where's this lap car gonna go? He's almost taking the line away from the 6 of Hunsicker. Still got 11 to go. Anything could happen in these final 11 laps. We got 3 cars all under a blanket for the lead. 24 of Donahue back to the outside on Chandler. Chandler wants to try to fight back to the 6 of Hunsicker. Braden Hunsicker, last time he went to victory lane was back in August at Phoenix. It's now the end of January. Oh, in the wall, Chandler. And now the 24 there. And he'll clear it.
Yep, it seems like it doesn't matter how the races go for Aaron Donahue. He's going to somehow find a way to get back to the top. Now he's going to hunt Braden Hunsicker for the lead with 9 laps to go this time by.
Hunsicker is praying that he can just run fast laps. He does not want to see his first win in months slip away. Hunsicker has been fighting. He's had a good year. It's just been coming up short. He's had a bunch of top 5s, a bunch of top 10s, scored good points. Still just has that 1 win, though. Looking for a second tonight. 8 laps to go. Donahue trying to close in. Chandler really trying to put in a late charge here in this race. 7 to go. Each to the bumper of Donahue. Donahue's not going to try to let him get there. Miller trying to just fight behind him.
And if these guys get into some trouble, Aston Miller might be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Miller wants to try to cap off a great night with a victory. 6 laps to go for him to do it.
Nathan is just catching bit by bit Braden Hunsicker, but it might not be enough.
We'll see how the dirty air also affects them. Chandler is really pushing it. He's back to the bumper of the 24. Trying to get there at least.
Yep.
Now
he goes to the top.
Yeah, Donahue runs the top. We'll see if he starts experimenting around again. Oh, he's in the wall.
Yep.
It's a bit of a mistake there. Now, Chandler trying to get there. He didn't really lose too much time, though, from the looks of it. Oh, that's a big send on Cameron Chandler's part. Looking to the inside of Donahue. Donahue tries to clear him once again, and it looks like he will. Chandler has 2 mile-and-a-half Cup Series wins to his name. Season finale at Kansas a season to go, and the Charlotte 600 this year. 4 laps to go at Chicagoland. And Chandler back on the wall. That's where he loves it, at these mile-and-a-halves.
I mean, while the top 2 and the top 3, they need qualifying laps right now in order to win this race.
3 laps to go. A spot in the championship 4 up for grabs between Donahue and Hunsicker up front. Braden Hunsicker only entered plus 10, I believe, so he would love this win tonight to lock himself in. Donahue looking to pressure him. 2 to go in Chicagoland. Hunsicker wants to try to take the line away of the 24, and he's up the racetrack in the wall. Nearly is Aiden Donahue. Chandler back to the bottom. Off turn 4 for the final time. Or second last time. Final lap underway for Braden Hunsicker. Now Donahue in the wall yet again. Chandler to his outside. He's there for second. Door to door they go through 1 and 2 for P2. Chandler slides. Donahue's there. And once again, side by side, final time down the back straightaway. Braden Hunsicker last went to victory lane all the way at the beginning of the season in August. They're making contact for second place, but off turn 4, he's gonna see the checkered flag and punch this ticket to the championship 4. Braden Hunsicker wins Chicagoland. Side by side for second, Donahue gets it.
5th career win for Braden Hunsicker, and he's going to fight for a championship at Phoenix. Wow.
It was a heartbreak last season in Kansas, but he's going to return once again with a shot at the title. Braden Hunsicker, the first driver to lock himself into the championship 4. Won the stage, wins the race.
And redeems himself from the Xfinity race yesterday, now winning the Cup race, and he's going to proceed to do burnouts.
Second win of the season for the driver of the 6. And he will burn it down. What a race from Chicago.
Yeah, we saw everything basically. We saw some atrocity, and then some 2 and 3 wide moves, and then almost a battle for the lead in the last few laps.
A great battle for second. It was a photo finish for P2 between Donahue and Chandler. And the driver of the 6 has punched his ticket to Kansas. And your podium finisher is doing a bit of a burnout. Hunsicker back in victory lane at Chicagoland. And yeah, he gets the job done tonight. Fun race in Chicago. And that will do it for us. And that'll do it for Braden Hunsicker's motor as well.
Yep.
So post-race interviews coming up. So we'll have all your top finishers, your winner. And recapping the first race of the round of 8. 3 races to go. We will see you next week in Talladega. That's going to be one you're not going to want to miss.
Anyone can win this race, that race basically. So I'm gonna get off for the night. It was a blast to watch this race and to see Braden Hunsicker win this race. So see you all at Talladega next week.
All right, see you, Jerry. So that will do it. Post-race interviews gonna be coming up next. We'll of course have all your top finishers. After a good one here tonight in Chicagoland, that will wrap it up. Braden Hunsicker gets the victory, and he'll be up first for an interview. Braden Hunsicker, after a long time away, since August at this point, you go back to victory lane and you will lock yourself into the championship 4. So how did you take the lead late here in the race under that long green flag run to hold on with Aiden Donahue catching you and to lock yourself into the championship 4?
You know, like I said yesterday, gotta save them tires, and it played a key role today and helped us win the stage for sure. It was a lot faster than the front 3 or front 2, whoever it was. But yeah, perfect points day almost if we got in pole, but yeah, we just saved our tires until the end, and it worked out in our favor, and made some pretty bold moves, but they worked out in the end, and we got the lead from it, and we just didn't look back.
So, of course, your second win of the season, first since Phoenix. So you're going to be locked into the Final 4 with Bristol, or Talladega up next week, and then Bristol. So you don't have to worry about those 2 very chaotic races. So what's going to change it with your mindset heading into these next 2 races?
You know, the mindset's always just to win. I mean, you don't ever want to, like, not think you're not going to try to win, because we're going to try to win. I mean, free wins. So yeah, I mean, just win, win, win. That's all we're gonna be thinking next week.
All right, well, big congratulations on the victory here tonight. You're of course the first driver that has locked yourself in to the Final Four, and we will see you next week at Talladega.
Thank you.
Coming up next is going to be Aiden Donahue, who comes home second. So Aiden Donahue, up and down, interesting night for you guys. It'll ultimately be a P2 finish after a photo finish with Cameron Chandler for that second spot. So what more did you guys need to try to run down Braden Hunsicker towards the end?
You know, you don't know until you figure it out 2 months later. Just congrats to Braden, man. He said it was his home track. It's the year of the home track winners, I guess. Very proud of him. He's been struggling this year trying to get a win. It's been bugging him. So I'm glad he got it, and I'm glad he got it the way he did. Big congrats to him. But we ran as hard as we could. I feel like we've solidified enough points to advance, I guess. Even if we crash at Dega and Bristol, I'm sure the points will be fine. But we look forward to not Talladega, maybe Bristol, but more importantly Kansas. But yeah,
So-
in regards to tonight, I don't know. I got loose maybe in the middle of the pack randomly. It was a really weird feeling. Maybe if that didn't happen, we'd be side by side for the finish. But I don't know if I would have won.
So after a second place finish here tonight, what are your expectations heading into next week? The unpredictable racetrack in Talladega that maybe try to lock yourself in on points.
Still at the back. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get involved in anything dumb. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself to go for a win, sure. But I'm not gonna do anything crazy next week. I'm just gonna have my head back, legs up, sipping on whatever drink I have, and just chilling and watch the chaos in front of me. Cause I don't like Talladega. Talladega sure as heck doesn't like me. So we'll just chill and let it play out.
All right, well, nice job still in the second place finish, and we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, coming up next, going to be third place, Cameron Chandler. So Cameron Chandler, a tough battle there at the end with you and Aiden Donahue, and a photo finish for P2. So you ultimately will end up third. So a very good night for you guys as you get ready to possibly move up to the Cup Series next season. So ultimately, how do you feel about your night and the speed you had throughout leading a bunch of laps here as well?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we had the speed to win it. The first half, I don't really remember what happened there, but we eventually got to the lead really fast in the long runs, and just the same thing as Michigan, I think it was, just pit crew terrible. I don't even remember the first thing that they messed up on, but the second time, we dropped the jack too early, stalled the car, and couldn't get going, and got sent to the back for the final restart. So. Had to drive through the field a little bit too aggressive, trying to pass Braden, Dylan, and Aiden. And honestly, I thought we pulled away far enough, but clearly not. And just that slight tire advantage is what lost us the race today. So still either way, a good run for our team, and good momentum for the rest of the season and next season going full time.
So, of course, we got the Xfinity Series with your full time, and you just locked yourself in to the Final Four with your win last night in the Xfinity race here at Chicagoland. So, what's going to be your mindset heading into these next 2 weeks for Xfinity, Talladega, and Bristol?
Yeah, honestly, I want to win both Bristol races since that's going to be, I think the Cup race is on my birthday and Xfinity's day before. So, those are must wins to me, but all the other ones, unless it's Kansas, we're just there to have fun and go win chasing.
All right, well, still nice job on the podium. P3 finish after a very good weekend for you guys with the win in the Xfinity race last night, and we'll see you next week from Talladega.
Yep, thank you.
All right, up next going to be Ashton Miller comes home fourth. Ashton Miller, after a very solid night by winning the pole, getting good stage points, you will come home P4. So it was a top 5 night all around. Is there anything you guys needed more there at the end to try to maybe close in for a battle for the lead?
I mean, honestly, just saving tires. I mean, I thought today was the day. It was finally gonna happen, and then this crap happened. So, I mean, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm also just annoyed at this point. I literally have the best day, and then, you know, stuff like this happens. So I'm not ready for Talladega because I already Talladega is gonna be a shit show anyways. But I mean, I guess today was a good points day for ETR, but yeah, it's disappointing.
All right, so what's going to be your expectations heading into these next 2 weeks? So you gained good points tonight on the cut line, so you should be looking pretty decent after the points come out. So we got Talladega and Bristol coming up next 2 weeks, two chaotic tracks to try to advance into the championship four. So what's your mindset and expectations heading into those races?
I mean, Talladega is just to hang out in the back and at least try to not get wrecked. And I can't tell you anything about Bristol because I hardly ever race that track, and yeah, I'm not really good at that track. So I mean, yeah, I'm not really prepared for the next 2 weeks. So yeah.
All right, well, still nice job on the run tonight. Top five, and a very good points day for you guys, and we'll see you next week in Talladega.
Yeah, thanks.
Coming up next is going to be Carlos Ortiz. Carlos Ortiz, great day for you guys. You gained good points, you led a lot of laps, and you come home with a very solid top five finish. So, what's your reaction to this a very solid day to gain some good points on the playoff cut line to try to advance to the championship four?
I mean, mixed feelings. I mean, top five day is obviously incredible, but just in the round of eight, you kind of need to be top four or go for the win. And I just feel like I screwed myself in the middle of the race having to flip the strategy. I was on like 3 to 4 older tires than everybody else, and I did my best to hold on, but top five is the best I could get out of that strategy. So, I mean, good day. We're running the day Talladega, where I've always done good at the super speedways recently, so that's my biggest hope until Bristol.
So, of course, we got, like you said, Talladega coming up next week. So, last Super Speedway race you guys did, the Daytona regular season finale, you had an absolutely phenomenal race with great points. So, is your mindset going to be the same heading into next week at Talladega to just try to go for the win?
Yeah, it's gonna have to just go for the win. Points. Braden was the last guy I needed to win. Now that he's won, I've got to go give it everything I have. So it's win or nothing for me. So points, it's fine. I can live with it not winning as many points as long as I go for the win at least. So that'll be the strategy.
All right, well, still nice job on the top five finish, and we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Yeah, thank you.
Up next is going to be Pace and Lindsay comes home seventh. Pace and Lindsay, up and down day for you guys. You got a little bit of damage throughout this race. So ultimately, we'll come home in a decent P7 finish. So ultimately, how are you feeling about your points gained today?
Yeah, I feel like we could have done better on the points. We didn't really have a good race today. We ran in the top like five for a good portion of the race, took the lead, and then I forgot how to drive, killed my right front, and then just didn't have anything there at the end. If I would have saved my tires, I probably would have been up there with Braden. But overall, I'll take P7. I mean, it's not exactly what you want going into the championship four in a few weeks, if we even make it there. But I mean, I'll take it.
All right, so we're heading into next week, of course, at Talladega. Last Super Speedway race, you guys, of course, went to victory lane. So what are going to be your expectations heading into that race?
Yeah, I think this was going to be the weakest track of this round for us. So, the fact that we finished P7 in what I thought was going to be not even a top 10 day, it's really good. If we can get a good run at Dega, maybe pick up quite a few stage points, and then just get a good top five. We nearly won Bristol last season in both the races. So if we can just do what we did last time, we can try and do something.
All right, well, still nice job on the run here tonight, and we'll see you next week in Talladega.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up, Eli Tomlin will come home in P9. Eli Tomlin, overall, pretty solid day for you guys. It'll be a top 10 finish, P9 here. So ultimately, take me throughout those last closing laps to get a pretty decent top 10 finish.
I mean, the closing laps were a little bit rough. I had just a bit of damage, and I was praying for a caution to use my last set of tires, so I wasn't quite with the lead pack, but still a solid day. Early, I really thought I could have had some winning speed though.
So we're heading next week into Talladega. So it's a super speedway. You guys have been good there at the past at these super speedways. What do you think you guys can do there to possibly sneak up on these drivers and maybe steal a victory?
I mean, I'll hopefully be able to steal one in Xfinity. I know I'll be racing Talladega there. As far as Cup goes, Payson's trying to get on me to spot for him there. He wants a little bit of help in the playoffs, so we'll see whether or not I run Cup or spot for him. But either way, Talladega's going to be fun next week.
All right, so still nice job on the top 10 finish, and we'll see you next week from Talladega.
I appreciate that, Ethan. You have a good night, man.
You too. Up next, Bryce Benson comes home 10th. So Bryce Benson, kind of a quiet day for you guys. It'll be P10 here overall. So we saw you guys just kind of in the mid-pack maybe throughout the entire day. So take me throughout a little bit throughout this day for you guys.
Yeah, really just kind of struggled to find speed. I don't know. I was okay. I was saving tires with like the first like stint of the race, and then I just wasn't really able to do it very well after that. It was kind of weird, but yeah, it's also a problem that on the pit stop I didn't take tires. I just on the last pit stop I just went to repair damage because I didn't think tires were gonna be that big of a thing, but I think it was a big thing, and I fell back a lot. But yeah, I think we could have got a better result, but it is what it is, I guess, and hopefully we can get a good result at Dega.
So what is going to be your mindset heading into these next three races? Talladega, Bristol, and Kansas, that you're not in the playoffs, where you're just going for a win.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for a win. I think Dake will be a funny one to win after what happened last season. But yeah, I'll go try to win at least one of them, and hopefully maybe multiple. But it's gonna be tough to do, but hopefully we can do it.
All right, well, still nice job on the top 10, and we'll see you next week at Talladega. All right, up next is going to be Cole Clausen. Cole Clausen, after being eliminated from the playoffs last week at the Charlotte Roval, was a pretty decent day for you guys, but you ultimately will finish in 14th position. So what happened towards the end of the race to kind of get you guys falling back?
Yeah, pretty unfortunate end to our race because towards the middle, I think like around lap 100 maybe, we dropped out due to packet loss. So that was insanely unfortunate because we're running up front for a lot of that. I was at second at one point, but yeah, and I love this racetrack. This is the first ever race I went to in 2019, and I hope they can add it back to the schedule one day. But this just definitely gives us some confidence. Going into Kansas in a couple weeks, even though there'll be some guys racing for the championship, but I'm really good at these mile-and-a-half tracks, and yeah, I hope we can just stay out of the chaos next week at Talladega and try to just get something. Try to get out of there and with not a torn up car and just finish off the season strong here, I guess.
So, of course, you've always been good at super speedways. For Talladega, you finished second at Bristol last season, and, of course, you won your championship at Kansas season ago. So those are the next three races. So three very good tracks with good history for you coming up these next 3 weeks. So do you guys think you're going to be able to snag a win?
A win? Well, that might be a little bit out of play, but, I definitely would not rule out the top 5 at all. I mean, honestly, this is probably the best best part of the season for me. I'm good at really all these tracks. But I want to win more than anything else. I mean, me and Miller were talking about, he's complaining that he can never win, but he has multiple wins across the lobbies and maybe one win in Xfinity. I don't know, but I know I've won a championship, and that's probably one of the greatest accomplishments you can ever have. But I really just want to win a race, and But hopefully we can do that in these next few weeks here.
All right, well, nice job. Still in the run here tonight. Sorry, ended an unfortunate finish for you guys with the connection issues, but we'll see you next week from Talladega.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Final interview tonight is going to be Nolan Crane. He came home with the DNF. So Nolan Crane, you guys wrecked, I believe, maybe 30, 40 laps into the race. So take me through what happened there to get you guys out of this one here tonight at Chicagoland.
Yeah, I mean, felt like that first run before I think what happened between Trenton and Lucas brought out the caution. We had a good car. Went from like I think 16th to 8th. Came back out in 6th. Was running with Matthew and Bryce, and I think Bryce kind of just didn't know I was on his quarter panel and came down and clipped me down into Matthew and had like 10 minutes of damage after that because I got full throttled in the left front tire. But I think next week's Talladega. Have a good shot there. Just gonna work with Dylan as much as possible, and hopefully get our name on that board with points.
All right, so of course Talladega up next week, Bristol after that, Kansas for the championship. What do you guys think your expectations for your team at least are to maybe get a good finish or possibly even a win?
Probably just survive the first half of the race, and then once it starts to get aggressive in that second half, you want to be more towards the front because everything's going to seem to happen in the middle and the back. So work our way from the front or from the back to the front and survive really at Dega.
All right, well, still nice job on the race tonight. Sorry, ended an early race crash for you guys, and we'll see you next week at Talladega.
Sure.
Okay, that will do it here tonight at Chicagoland. We hope you enjoyed. So, of course, there will be no lobbies tomorrow night. Sorry about that. But we'll be back for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup. Actually, we're going to have trucks, the Triple Truck Trophy on Tuesday, Xfinity on Wednesday, Thursday for the Cup Series. So it's the Triple Truck Trophy Championship, the second race of the round of 6 for Xfinity, and the second race of the round of 8 for the Cup Series, all at Talladega, and then we'll have lobbies on Friday. So 4 nights of action next week. We got a lot to look forward to there with super speedway action. We hope you enjoy that. Coming up next week, and here in Chicagoland, that will wrap it up. On behalf of all officials, team owners, drivers, commentators, everybody involved in making this league what it is, we'll see you next week at Talladega. Good night from Chicagoland.